Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Huddle Daily Coaching for Sports Parents. My name is Cinnamon. I am the D1 mom. My husband and I have raised three Division I full ride athletes. Our daughter played volleyball at Texas A&M. We have a son playing basketball at Furman University and a son playing basketball at the University of Arkansas. Good morning. This is daily coaching for sports parents. Your kids, your athletes have coaches and trainers, and now so do you. So do you. So good morning. Welcome. Good morning, Hockey Lawyer Mom. Happy Wednesday, hump day. Good morning, Robin. Shannon Price, good morning, friend. Good morning. Today was one of those days where I wasn't sure I was going to make it here by 9:15. I got up moving slow, did not get out of the bed, just laid around, talked to Steve, talked to Madison, looked up, and I was like, I got to go. I got to get to the morning huddle. So welcome, guys. Good to see you. Good to see you. Good morning, Susie. Good morning. Susie, I forgot until just now that I owe you some video. Something that Steve said he was going to do last night and didn't, and now it is my responsibility. That's fine. Let me try to do this now. Videos. Good morning, Maddie. I'm trying to find some highlights to share with Susie that Steve didn't share yesterday. Volleyball. Ooh. Is this a video? No, that's a photo. Let me search Madison. This is a lot right now. This is a lot. I might have to have Steve do this when he gets back in. All I'm seeing right now are photos. Photos, Susie. I'm gonna get you though. I'm gonna get you right though, Susie. I'm gonna get you right. Don't give up on me. Don't give up on me. All right. Good morning, Tootie. Good morning. All right. Thank you for the gifts, Susie. Thank you for the gifts, guys. Let's get going today. Let me pull up my notes. What do I want to talk about today? What do I want to talk about today? And as always, if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Any great news, any comments you want to share with us about great things happening with your athlete, new teams, new positions, any feedback you've gotten from coaches, any parent leadership questions, would love to hear them. Would love to hear them. All right, Shani said, thank you for the heart, me Tootie. Shani Price, good morning. Did you record? I did record it. I need to download it, but I will be putting it up today. I will put it on YouTube today. Yes. Yeah. Last night's live was fun, wasn't it? It was a fun time. Good morning, Monica. Good morning, Jay. Yeah, it was a fun time. I tried to get Steve to come back this morning. He acted like he was too busy for us. He acted like he was too busy. Jay said, I ordered some Bombas socks. They are great. Thanks for the suggestion. I'm telling you, you put those socks on. You put those socks on before a long day in the gym, at the field. Your feet will be so happy. She said, I added your name to the influencer referral. Thank you. I thank you. I appreciate that. I need to reach out to them today. I need to reach out to Bombas today. Worth every penny. And I will tell you, sometimes you can find Bombas socks at TJ Maxx. You can find them at TJ Maxx. I have bought the ankle socks, the no-shows, the liners. I think I got all of those have found all of those at TJ Maxx. And then also in my Bombas collection, I have a couple pair of the compression, like knee-high compression socks that I wear on flights, or when I used to referee, volleyball ref, I would wear those. And I have these house shoe sock cushion things that are great. I love them. And those are really, they are life changing. I love those house socks. They're expensive. They were $55 when I just looked them up online, because the pair I got was a gift. And I looked them up to buy another pair, and they were $55, but I definitely am going to get another pair. There was somebody, what was that was just posted? Shani said, thank you, very informative, talking about last night's live. I need to revisit Steve's input about changing schools. Okay, that sounds great. If he comes up here before he heads out this morning, I'll have him pop in, Shani. But yes, I'm going to go ahead and get that downloaded and reposted today. Hey, Monica. What's up, Monica? Good morning. My daughter is a gymnast and starting high school this year. Advice for gymnast. So first of all, if your daughter is going to a high school where they offer gymnastics, that is fantastic. I love it. I don't know if you know this or not, but that is not common in most high schools across the country. So that's excellent. The main thing when it comes to gymnasts, the main thing that I've learned is that it is gymnasts are highly prone to injury just because of the nature of the sport. They are highly prone to injury just because of the nature of the sport. So you really need to tap in to preventive care, rehab as part of her overall care, because gymnasts are super talented. They can be super talented in high school. They can reach level 8, 9, 10, but never have the opportunity to participate in college because they get sidelined by injury before they get out of high school, right? But with all athletes starting high school, the main thing I stress is making sure your athlete is ready for the adjustment from middle school to high school. Big difference in the social aspect, the class aspect. They're going from 45-minute classes every day to 90-minute classes every other day with block scheduling. They have to be more responsible, more in charge of their work, their class, study, sports flow. So yeah, you gotta really be on that. Also, Monica, I want you to check with the guidance counselor. The guidance counselor at your daughter's high school. Make sure the guidance counselor understands your daughter is an athlete. She wants to be NCAA eligible for Division I. And then I want you to check with the NCAA website, ncaa.org. ncaa.org, Monica, and make sure that your daughter's courses are aligned with the NCAA core classes. I tell you, your kid can graduate high school. Your athlete, your child can graduate high school, yet not be eligible to compete at the Division I level. How is that possible? Because they took the wrong classes, or they did not take them in the right order, or they did not complete them in the amount of time that the NCAA gave them. NCAA requirements are different from high school requirements. Please check ncaa.org. Wonderful. Tootie says, I definitely need some compression socks on the ice cream truck driving around. And let me tell you, these socks are tight. I have never experienced any swelling or any discomfort except for the socks. Like, I can get them on, but then by the time the day is done, it's difficult to get those bad boys off. Like, I usually have to have Steve or Madison or one of the boys that they're around help me get those socks off my legs. That's how compressed, that's how compressed they are. All right. Guys, good morning and welcome. Welcome in. This is the Morning Huddle, daily coaching for sports parents. Your kids have coaches and trainers, and now so do you. My name is Cinnamon. I am the D1 mom. My husband and I have raised 3 Division I full ride athletes. Isaiah B. Good morning, Isaiah. Welcome to the Morning Huddle. Isaiah says, how many clubs did you switch until you found the right basketball team? Isaiah, we're very fortunate that we, excuse me, that we live in a basketball mecca, so to speak. Like, there are a ton of great teams, fantastic trainers in our area. I am in Washington, D.C., in the metro area. I live in Virginia, but I am part of the DMV. And my son started with one team. They started with Team Takeover. Cole, the baby, was with Takeover from 3rd grade all the way until maybe 10th grade, I think. So he was with Takeover for a long time. And then when he left Takeover, he went with a independent program that was run by one of his trainers. Great training. And then that same team joined the Adidas circuit. So he's been on 2 different teams within 2 different programs, Cole. And Cooper started with Takeover as well and went from Takeover. Then he got cut in 8th grade. So from 3rd to 8th, he was about with Takeover. And then from Takeover, played on a couple. We took him out. We took him out of basketball for 3 years. We took him out after 5th grade and set him until 8th grade. So he just played locally. We can discuss that another day because that's a really good story. We set him for 1,000 days. And when he came back, he played on a couple of local teams in our area before joining Team Durant, EYBL. And then from there, he had 1 more year and he did the same program that Cole did, Prospect U, which became the Adidas team. So not that much, right? Not that much, but I do understand it takes a while sometimes to find the right program. It takes a while sometimes to find the right program. Talk to other parents, talk to other trainers, and keep in mind what it is that your athlete needs. What are they looking for? What do they need in order to grow and progress and advance toward their goals? Good morning, Josh. Casey Johnson, thank you for sharing the live. I love that. Sharing is caring. I appreciate the support, Casey. Monica says they don't offer gym. Okay, I was about to say, wow. All right, she does it privately. I got it. I got you, Monica. I got you. Robin. Okay. Slim P. Good morning, Slim P. And welcome to the Morning Huddle, daily coaching for sports parents. My daughter plays softball, 8th grade. Let me put this over. A D1 coach husband added my Facebook page. All right, let me get this straight. Your daughter plays softball. She's in the 8th grade. A D1 coach's husband added you on Facebook. I would probably watch him. What is he? Why is he the coach? He's not the coach. It sounds like the coach's husband added you on Facebook. I don't know what that's about. Simp. But listen, y'all don't put too much weight into coaches following your athlete or following you on social media, right? Social media is simply exposure. That is simply one way to get exposure for your athlete through social media. So exposure is just part of the process. Successful recruiting has a framework, and that framework is exposure, communication, relationships. Exposure, communication, relationships. That's it. That's the framework right there. That's the framework right there. A lot of little steps under each one, but exposure, communication, relationships. That's it. Hockey Lawyer Mom said, we are not waiting until another time to discuss it. I want to know today, why did you sit him for 1,000 days? So this is the answer to that question. Excuse me. When he was in fifth grade, we went to nationals, and I think you guys, I've told you before, he was not very coordinated. He was super tall. He was much taller than the other kids, but he lacked basic coordination. He understood the game. He understood the plays, but simply was not like he could barely catch, like bring his hands together to catch the ball, and running up and down the court was a challenge. And if he was, posted up and somebody kind of just like pushed him like that, he would fall over because he lacked balance, he lacked core strength. It was just a wild time. So when he was in fifth grade, Cole was in third grade and Madison was in eighth grade. So what was happening is Madison was getting really, really geared up in volleyball. She was playing for one of the top clubs in the country. We were looking at their schedule. Cole was just starting out, but he was on a really great team, a team that turns out to be loaded with D1 talent. And those boys are now all in school playing high-level Division I ball. So we decided that Cooper needed more time to prepare, to get ready, to learn his body, to grow. He also was experiencing terrible knee pains. And so we just decided we're going to take Cooper out. We're going to create a plan, and we called it the 1,000-day plan. And 1,000 days turned out to be 3 years, where we would focus on his strength, on his coordination, his agility, as well as do some skill training, some development with him. So he had trainers. He worked out. During that time is when he learned how to jump rope. When we first introduced jump rope, and he could not do it. And just really pouring into him and helping him to understand that you do have this elite height. You do have a love for basketball, and we want you to enjoy that. We want you to pursue it, but we need to get some foundational things together first. And then also, realistically, we couldn't have 3 kids. We couldn't manage 3 kids doing high level sports. Madison being the closest to graduation, we were going to continue to guide her and to, navigate her recruiting process. And then Cole just starting, we kept him in because that wasn't as demanding, and decided that Cooper would be the one who would sit for a while we worked on him. And it honestly was a tremendous blessing, guys. When you know, as a mom, as a sports mom, a sports dad, when you are very clear on the talent that your child has, and you understand that them sitting down and not competing, not being on these teams, not doing all this traveling is not going to stop what is for them. When you have that type of confidence, it's a real gift. It's a real gift because you understand to trust the process. When I tell you guys to trust the process, I'm not telling you to do something I've never done. I know what I'm talking about. We've done it. So we sat him for 1,000 days. He then went on to do, I mean, he's had an incredible, incredible run in athletics. So he missed nothing. Everything that was meant for him was still there, for him. The full ride. He was able to go to private school, to play for a private school in our community. He was able to get a full ride to post-grad in Wichita, Kansas at Sunrise Christian. We didn't pay for that. And then he was able to get a full ride from there to Furman, where he was for 3 years, won a conference championship, made some incredible lifelong friends, got to play with his brother last year at Furman. And now he's now playing at the University of Arkansas. And I cannot express to you the blessing. What a joy. Just to be a part of his story and to share it with you guys is incredible. So yeah, Monica said, that's amazing. Sometimes we don't read our children to guide them and push them instead. So true, Monica. So true. Hockey Lawyer Mom says, oh wow, that's amazing. So yeah, it wasn't done. It wasn't very common back then. And I don't think it is now, because parents are panicked. You guys are stressed about if we take him out, if we sit our kid down, they're going to lose their opportunities. Coaches aren't going to be looking for them. They're going to fall behind their peers. But what God has for you, he has for you. What is for your child is for your child and will not pass them up. It will not pass them by, right? All right, let's get into it. This is the Morning Huddle daily coaching for sports parents. Shani said, that's amazing that everything all worked out. But it worked out more perfectly than we could have ever planned. It worked out more perfectly than we could have ever planned, Shani. Is this Mika? Mika, where have you been? Good morning, friend. It's so good to see you. Welcome back, stranger. Welcome back. All right, let's get into it today. Let's get into it. I have to tell you guys, as a Division I mom of three, I am still learning. Things are still happening. I am having new experiences. Yesterday, Cooper's basketball team flew to Dallas to attend the World Cup semifinal as a guest of John Tyson. Who's John Tyson? The CEO of Tyson Foods. They flew on one of Tyson's private jets. They flew from Northwest Arkansas to Dallas. I didn't know until yesterday. I wasn't clear on the difference between a private jet and a chartered flight. Now that I say it out loud, I could have figured that out, but the private jet is like what your family would fly on, right? Like Kim Air, Kardashian Air, whatever their plane is. Anyhow, they flew private. So I'm going to share some of those. I want to share the lessons that I learned yesterday from his World Cup experience, right? Because the biggest thing I took away from it wasn't the private plane. It wasn't the being in the club, being in a suite, having that type of exclusivity. That wasn't it. The biggest takeaway for me yesterday was the access. It was amazing, Missy. It reminded me, and I said, I got to share this with you guys, that when choosing a college, they're not just choosing where they are going to play their sport. They are choosing an ecosystem. They're choosing who they will be around, what they will be exposed to, what rooms they'll enter. And sometimes They are learning what is possible for their own lives. So today I want to talk about 7 things sports parents need to understand about proximity, access, and the hidden value of the college experience, the college athletics experience. Yeah. All right. Monica says, what about advanced classes in high school with following NCAA? Encourage. Monica, that's a matter of personal preference. You do not need high school. You do not need advanced classes in high school. Can you take them? Yes, they are part of they do fall under the approved core classes for the NCAA. If my kid was naturally talented in math and enjoyed it and wanted to, take advanced classes, AP classes, whatever, absolutely, I would let them. If my child did not really enjoy math or it was going to be too stressful, I would not do it. All right. Number 1. 7 lessons for sports parents. Your athlete isn't just choosing a team, they're choosing an ecosystem. Number 1, there are levels to the college experience. There are levels to the college athletics experience. All right, there are levels. Type levels in the chat. Type levels in the chat. There are levels to the college athletics experience. Type levels. Okay, Ink Truth. Hey, friend, welcome. Missy, levels. Brittany, got it. Hey, Brittany, good morning. D, good morning, D. You land, good morning. Welcome, Shani, levels. All right, here we go. Susie Q, levels. Number 1, there are levels to the college athletics experience. Every college can offer an education and an opportunity to compete, but every athletic program cannot offer the same resources, relationships, facilities, travel, exposure, or experiences. I'm going to just let that sit in for a minute. Let that sink in. I want you to sit with that. Every college can offer an education and an opportunity to compete, but every athletic program cannot offer the same resources, relationships, facilities, travel, exposure, or experiences. That's not an insult to smaller programs, but I want you to be aware of it. Cooper had an incredible experience at Furman University. Madison had the time of her life at Texas A&M. But looking at it through men's basketball, when Cooper, his transferring to Arkansas, showed me that the experience changes when the scale and resources change. So when you are evaluating schools for your athlete, I need you to understand what the program can provide beyond the scholarship and playing time. Yes, Lachey, good morning, friend. Coach Cal effect. I do not know. I really honestly can't put a dollar amount on that Coach Cal effect. But I will say, I want to share this. One thing Cooper told me yesterday at halftime, Coach Cal says, all right, guys, let's go. We're going to go up to Jerry Jones' suite. Jerry Jones, y'all know who Jerry Jones is, walked through the arena, headed to Jerry Jones' suite. Of course, there was a police officer outside the door. Before they even knocked, Somebody comes running out. Coach Cal, so glad you're here. Jerry's expecting you. Come on in. Welcomed everybody in. Cooper said largest suite he'd ever seen. And he's been in some suites before, right? Huge. People everywhere said it was like Celebrity Row. People he didn't even recognize, like so many celebrities, people he didn't even recognize, he didn't know were in there. But he was introduced, Coach Cal introduced him to Jerry Jones. Cooper said their CEO of Nike was there. Who else was in there? Tony Romo. Cooper starts talking to this one guy. He didn't know who he was. He's just chatting him up. Turns out, head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. Cooper's a huge football fan. Now he's a Commanders fan, but he had enough sense not to go in there and say anything about, hail to the Commanders. He knew better than that. So he talked for a while with the head coach about OTAs, about their training camp in California. And the coach says, oh my gosh, you really know. Because Cooper knew the city and everything where they were training in where they trained in California. Cooper asked about their draft pick, Caleb Downs, and coach says he's a monster. He's phenomenal. Matter of fact, that's his mom and dad over there. Introduced Cooper to Caleb's parents, and Cooper chatted with them for a while. Cade Cunningham was there. And of course, John Tyson was there. And he said the amount of hugs, handshakes, and back pats that were going on, phenomenal. So and back to Coach Cal effect, Cooper also said, as they were walking to the suite, to Jerry Jones' suite, no less than 10 people were like, Coach Cal, can we get a picture? Can we get an autograph? And he said these were like international. Like these people were not from Arkansas, not from Kentucky, not from UMass, but just fans of Coach Cal and what he means to college basketball. It was crazy. It was crazy in the best possible way. Building relationships, Missy. You get it. Number two, guys. These are 7 lessons for sports parents. Your athlete isn't just choosing a team, they're choosing an ecosystem. Number 2, proximity creates possibility. Proximity creates possibility. Cooper, this is how, okay. Yesterday was Tuesday. Monday, Arkansas had practice. After practice, Coach Cal tells the team, I want y'all to meet me in my office. They go to Cal's office. Cal had just gotten back from, and this is Coach Cal I'm talking about, had just gotten back from NBA Summer League. So he's talking to the team about Summer League, about his experience, who he saw, who he had dinner with, giving them the rundown. And then Coach Cal says, how many of y'all are keeping up with the World Cup? Are you following the World Cup? And of course, Cooper raised his hand because we had gone to the World Cup. We went to a match 2 weeks ago in Atlanta. He and I did. And a couple other guys were like, yeah, I'm checking it out. I'm tapped in. Coach Cal says, well, great. We're going tomorrow. They're leaving. It's like 5-6 p.m. Coach Cal says, we're going tomorrow. They were to meet at the facility at 9 a.m. They took a transportation to the airport, to the private area, where the hangars are. And I said, Cooper, you went into the hangar to get on the plane? I've never done that. I've only seen it on TV. Coop said, no, they had already pulled the plane out. But we did. I said, well, how many planes were in the hangar? Like, how many planes did Tyson, do they own? How many in their fleet? He said, I don't know, but we took 2. We took 2 to Dallas. And this private where the private planes were stored was named John Tyson Avenue. John Tyson, Cooper had already met John Tyson prior to this. But yeah, nephew Coop out here catching flights. Proximity creates possibility. So Coach Cal says we're going to the World Cup tomorrow. This is the semifinals of the World Cup in Dallas. Not only were they going, they had VIP access. They were treated like VIPs. They flew on private jets. They were met, got off the plane, got right into a Sprinter van. Crazy experience. So proximity creates possibility. Cooper is now in an environment where Coach Cal can say, we're going to the World Cup tomorrow. And suddenly the team is on a private plane headed to one of the biggest sporting events in the world, watching from a suite as corporate guest. The larger lesson isn't the private jet. The lesson here is that you cannot access opportunities you are never close enough to encounter. Your kid and you cannot access opportunities you are never close enough to encounter. This is number 2, proximity creates possibility. And this is 7 lessons for sports parents. Your athlete isn't just choosing a team, they're choosing an ecosystem. So number 2 is proximity creates possibility. Elite programs. And this is not just winning programs, right? Elite programs put athletes in proximity to major companies, influential people, professional organizations, donors, boosters, executives, former athletes, and opportunities they may not have even known existed. Y'all hear what I'm saying? Listen, a week ago, Kentucky men's basketball flew their team to Vegas for Summer League. And I was like, wow. And I'm tapped into that because we have a good friend who plays for Kentucky. He transferred from Furman to Kentucky. So I'm all excited for Kentucky. And I'm like, dag, that's nice. That's nice. Ooh, you know, I might have felt a little something like, dag, I wish Arkansas could do something like that. And then boom, didn't talk about it. Didn't say I'm working on something. This is coming up. Y'all stay tuned. Didn't post it on social media. He just said, we're going tomorrow. Flew private with John Tyson, the CEO of Tyson Foods. Incredible. The question you need to ask yourself when going through the recruiting process and making choices, helping your kid to make choices, who will my child be around if they attend this school? Who will my child be around if they attend this school? Hayden, good morning, Hayden. Coach Cal is letting the players know, strive to be great. More important, it's all about who you know. Relationships, right? All right, number 3. 7 lessons for sports parents. Your athlete isn't just choosing a team, they're choosing an ecosystem. Number 3, access is an asset. Access is an asset. Go ahead and type access if you are ready for number 3. Access is an asset. And for those of you who need help, access is ACCESS. ACCESS. Access is an asset. Type access if you're ready for number 3. All right, Amy. Hey, Amy. Good morning. Amy, access. You land and you live. Access. Megan. Good morning, Megan. Access. Again for the win. Access. Now, I mean, again for the win. Didn't you say you were driving? How are you typing access if you're driving? Put that phone down and focus on the road. You're not going to crash on my live. All right. Access is an asset. J, access. Here we go. We spend so much time talking about NIL money that you overlook another form of value, which is access. Access to rooms, access to relationships, access to experiences, access to information, access to people who can change the trajectory of your athlete's life. The value of Cooper's experience yesterday wasn't just getting to see a World Cup semifinal. It was experiencing at 21 years old a level of access most people will never experience. Missy, access equals exposure. And Robin just put it, listen, exposure, communication, relationships. I teach that as a successful framework for recruiting, or the framework for successful recruiting. But let's be honest. Let's be honest and really think about this. That framework is the same for a successful life. Whether your kid is playing sports or not, exposure, communication, relationships. The value of yesterday's experience wasn't just getting to see a World Cup semifinal. It was experiencing at 21 years of age a level of access most people will never experience. When evaluating an opportunity for your kids in recruiting and choosing their school, don't only ask how much NIL are they paying? How much are they going to pay my daughter? How much are they going to pay my son? Ask, what doors can this environment open? What doors can this environment open? Lo, why is this question pinned? I have 3 children. I have raised 3 Division I full ride athletes. My kids are Madison, Cooper, and Cole. You can go to my page and learn everything you need to learn about me. Number 4. So that was number 3. Number 4. 7 lessons for sports parents. Your athlete isn't just choosing a team, they're choosing an ecosystem. Number 4. Who's ready for number 4? Put a 4 in the chat. If we're keeping up, y'all keeping up so far? Number 4. Number 4. Megan said, what game did you get to watch? When Cooper and I went to the World Cup in Atlanta, we watched England versus Congo. Phenomenal. Harry Kane scored 2 goals in that game. And I thought, for me, that was a mountaintop experience. Like the night before, Cooper was like, let's go to the World Cup, because he ended up having a day off before he had to come home. And so we met in Atlanta, went to the World Cup, and then flew home together for the 4th of July. So yeah, we were there. We're in Atlanta. Number 4. Okay, and then Cooper, his game yesterday, the semifinal was, who was it? France and Spain. his game was, he got to see France and Spain in Dallas. All right, are we ready? Yeah, okay, Amina's not, she's done driving. Excellent. Load key, welcome, friend Brittany. Good morning. Jess, 718. There she is. Good, 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 good. Number 4, your child is being educated outside of the classroom. Your child is being educated outside of the classroom. That's number 4. College athletics is not simply 4 or 5 years of practices. Drop my notes. Is not simply 4 or 5 years of practices and games while earning a degree. At its best, it is an accelerated education in how the world works. Travel, corporate partnerships, media, leadership, relationships, networking, expectations, etiquette, exposure to different industries and cultures. This is the lesson. This is the lesson. Your athlete may go to college to play a sport, but they should leave understanding far more than their sport. College athletics is an accelerated education in how the world works. Yes. Excellent. Excellent. Guys, thank you. This is the Morning Huddle Daily Coaching for Sports Parents. We are going over 7 lessons for sports parents. Your athlete isn't just choosing a team, they are choosing an ecosystem. Thank you for sharing the live. Sharing is caring. Thank you for the follows and joining the 126,000 sports parents that are already tapped into Raising Champions. All right, number 1, the first lesson was there are levels to the college experience. Number 2, proximity creates possibility. Number 3, access is an asset. Number 4, your child is being educated outside of the classroom. This conversation is based on Cooper, my son's trip yesterday with Arkansas basketball to the World Cup semifinals in Dallas. Number 5, this is a big one. Put 5 in the chat. Put 5 in the chat. This is really the crux of the my entire lesson today. 5, 5, 5. Megan, you land and you live. Again, 5. Mika, 5. Just here we go. Here we go. The right environment expands what your child believes is possible. The right environment expands what your child believes is possible. Did y'all catch that? Exposure. Exposure. The right environment expands what your child believes is possible. Mika caught it. There is something powerful, dare I say life-changing, about being exposed to a life you have never seen before. You have never seen in person. If you've seen it, it was on TV. There's something powerful about being put in that environment, in that life, and being able to touch other people, being able to talk to other people. Once you have flown private, with your team and coach to a global sporting event, once you have sat in a corporate suite, rubbed elbows with CEOs of international conglomerates, once you have experienced how major organizations build relationships, your understanding of what is possible gets bigger. It increases. I did not know. Sakina says, come on now. Right environment. My God, truth. I did not know until Monday night. I did not know that this was even a possibility for college athletes. I didn't know. And I've been in this space almost 10 years. I didn't know. My daughter went to Texas A&M. She played in a Power 4 program, but the difference is she was playing volleyball. But even if she had been playing, there are different levels in volleyball, absolutely. But the difference here, the difference within Division I, even within high major Division I programs, I didn't even know this was a possibility. I thought with my limited, and I thought I'd been exposed. I thought I had seen some things. I thought I knew people. I moving and shaking, moving and grooving. I thought I thought I had seen it. When Kentucky was on a chartered jet going to Summer League, I was like, that's awesome. But this right here, what Coach Cal did, it's on a whole nother level. It's on a whole nother level that had not even entered my mind. It never even occurred to me that Coach Cal or that CEO John Tyson would say, you know what, Cal, let's take the team down to Dallas. You know, I got that suite down there. Jerry would be glad to see us and host us. We can take 2 of my jets, fly down to Dallas, enjoy the game, and come on back. Never even entered my mind. Didn't know it was a possibility. Now I honestly believe anything is possible. Anything is possible. Anything is possible. You can't strive for something you don't even know exists, says Amy. So true. Anything is possible. So once again, it changes your understanding of what is possible. Sometimes, let me lean in and say this. Sometimes the greatest gift an opportunity gives your child is a bigger imagination for their own life. Sometimes the greatest gift an opportunity gives your child is a bigger imagination for their own life. Yes. Hayden says, when I meet Cooper, his name would be Cooper Bowser Jefferson. He's in the penthouse now, moving on up to a deluxe apartment on the east side, Hayden. Amen. Amen. Okay. Number 6. Who's ready for 6? Who's ready for 6? I hope y'all put a star next to 5 because that was a big one. The right environment expands what your child believes is possible. Okay. Number 6. Number 6. Don't chase Don't raise your athlete to chase the logo. Raise them to understand the opportunity. Don't raise your athlete to chase the logo. Raise them to understand the opportunity. Because opportunities, hey Keisha LaShawn, good morning, friend. Opportunities exist at every level. No, every school doesn't have a Coach Cal, doesn't have these relationships, doesn't have these type of boosters, right? We know that. But there are opportunities wherever your child is going to school. Arkansas wasn't the right choice for Cooper simply because it was an SEC school. It wasn't the right choice simply because of the NIL they were offering Cooper. Just as Furman wasn't the wrong choice because it was smaller. The right opportunity changes. The right opportunity changes depending on what your athlete needs at that particular stage of their journey. Furman University gave Cooper the opportunity to develop, to grow, to become a champion, and to grow into the player who could step into an Arkansas. Cooper could not have gone to Arkansas without the 3 years he spent at Furman. Y'all get that? He could not have gone to Arkansas without the 3 years he spent at Furman. As parents raising elite athletes, we need to be very clear that we are teaching our athletes to look at situations, to look at opportunities and say, what can I become in this environment? Not simply, how impressive will this look when I post it? Teach your athlete to ask, what can I become here? What can I become in this environment? Not simply, how impressive will this look when I post it? Mika's heading to Furman this weekend for camp. Go Paladins. Excited. Which camp are you going to? Which sport? All right. Did y'all catch that? Ooh, volleyball. Okay. Mika, let me know your daughter's name. I'm going to reach out to some of the volleyball players and see if they're going to I'm going to have them look out for your daughter. We're at Newberry right now, Keisha says, for football. Okay, y'all out here moving, taking your kids to camps. I love it. I love it. All right. That was number 6. All right. That was number 6. Relationships, right? Exactly. Exactly. Right there you land and you live. Number 7. This is the closing lesson this morning. Number 7. 7 lessons for sports parents. Your athlete isn't just choosing a team, they are choosing an ecosystem. Number 7. Playing the sport may be the ticket, but the destination is much bigger. Playing the sport may be the ticket, but the destination is much bigger. Basketball got Cooper into the room. But what he learns, who he meets, what he sees, how he grows while he's in those rooms will ultimately matter far longer than basketball. Thank you, Keisha, for the heart me. What Cooper learns, who he meets, what he sees, how he grows while he is in these rooms may ultimately matter far longer than his playing time. This is why sports parents, sports moms, sports dads, sports aunts, and uncles have to stop viewing college athletics simply as, did my child play? How many minutes? How many points? What were their stats? Did they get a write-up? Did anybody highlight my kid? Maybe those things matter a little bit, but the bigger question, the better question is, who is my child becoming because of the experience they are having? Who is my child becoming because of the experience they are having? That's it. That's it, guys. That's the 7 lessons. 7 lessons for sports parents. Your kid, your athlete isn't just choosing a team, they are choosing an ecosystem. Any questions about any of those 1 through 7? I will download this. And get it, post it. Hayden says, preach, Sin. Let's not forget, some kids don't like all the attention. That's right. That's right. They don't like it. They just want to do their thing. They don't need a spotlight. They don't need a spotlight. So just to recap, number 1, there are levels to the college athletics experience. There are levels to the college athletics experience. Number 2, proximity creates possibility. Proximity creates possibility. Number 3, access is an asset. Access is an asset. Number 4, your child is being educated outside the classroom. Your child is being educated outside the classroom. Number 5, the right environment expands what your child believes is possible. The right environment expands what your child believes is possible. Number 6, don't raise your athlete to chase the logo. Raise them to understand the opportunity. Don't raise your child to chase a logo. Raise them to understand the opportunity. And number 7, playing the sport may be the ticket, but the destination is much bigger. Playing the sport may be the ticket, but the destination is much bigger. All right. Awesome 7 lessons, says Mika. Those were good, says you landed, you live. Amy, thanks so much. Thank you, Cinnamon. You are more than welcome. You guys are more than welcome. This is the Morning Huddle daily coaching for sports parents every weekday at 9:15. Every weekday at 9:15. That was a lot. I haven't even gotten to give you the play-by-play breakdown of what else happened. Let me just quickly say this. So they fly to Dallas on these 2 jets. They did not land at Love Field. They did not land at DFW. Those are the 2 airports in Dallas, right? They landed at a small private landing strip in Arlington. Well, the stadium is right in Arlington, right? So they land, they get off the plane, they walk down the steps, get into a Sprinter van that actually takes them to the main building where everybody goes after their flights, after their planes land. They go into that building and then get into another Sprinter van that takes them to the stadium for the match, right? Cooper said when he got off the plane, there was nothing but private jets lined up, like as far as the eye could see. Private jets, private jets. He did see the Nike private jet, and he said he knew it was Nike because on the tail wing was just a Nike swoosh. How sweet is that? And did he say he met the CEO of Nike? He was in Jerry Jones' suite. I know that. I don't know if he met him. So that was one thing. And Cooper said after the match, I'm going to get to you in a second, Mika. Cooper said after soccer was over and they went back to the airport, he said it was like a traffic jam. It was just packed of people, getting on their jets and just taking off one after another. It was amazing. He said the seats on the private plane were so comfortable. They were massage chairs. The carpet was plush. He also said that because it was such a small, he said, number one, he could tell how fast they were going. Like they literally were just zipping through the clouds. And because it was small, he could feel everything. So like when the plane would drop a little bit, that was an issue, but I think he could get used to that. But yeah, just seeing all those private jets lined up there. Everybody's experience is not the same. There are levels to this. Mika needs some feedback. Daughter was offered to play on 17 Open. She's 15. Her division is 16 for 26-27. So what's the feedback you need? Whether she should play on 17 Open? I don't know. What's the club, Mika? How good is your daughter? What's the club, and what is she trying to achieve? What's her goal for the sport? Jess, God bless. So happy for him to have a great experience. Hard work pays off. It absolutely does. I say it, it's 2026. I still say this sometimes in my captions. Hard work still works. Hard work still works. And no, your kid may not have this they may not have this opportunity to play, for a Coach Cal type player, a guy coach who has these connections, but there are different levels. There are different levels. So seek out the opportunities for your kid on whatever their level is. Help them to recognize them, to take advantage of them, to be grateful for them, whatever level they are on. Whatever level they're on. What am I doing? Waiting on Mika. Listen, Hayden says Cooper was pinching himself yesterday. When I talked to him last night, when he called us last night, he was still on cloud 9. I said, Cooper, it's probably going to be a couple of days before your feet touch the ground again. And I love that for you. Enjoy it, son. Enjoy it. Mika says, my concerns for the director and coach was playing time. She's an outside and can't play middle. Okay, what's the club? What's the club? You said she plays open level. Does the club go to national? Does the club go to national qualifiers? Did they qualify last year? Did the 16s qualify last year? Did the 17s qualify last year? Is there not a 16s team? Mika, did they qualify at USAV Nationals? Not AAU in Orlando. Did they earn a bid? And what level did they play at? What level? You say they did qualify. Excellent. What level did the 16s play at last year, this past summer? And what level did the 17s qualify, the team they're trying to put her on? Did the 17s qualify? Where is the or is there no 16s team? Is that why she's jumping from 15s to 17s? She tried out for 16s, but they want her on 17s, but you're concerned about playing time? So they want her on 17s to what? Be a backup to somebody else? If they want her on 17, she should be playing, right? Why are you saying you're concerned about playing time? Or is this just something you've made up in your mind, Mika? Are you creating a problem where there is none? Trying to find out what you got going on here, Mika. I just don't want her to be a bench rider. Who said she was going to ride the bench? And what is wrong with being a bench rider? If she is playing, if she's 15, they want her to play 17s, but she is the backup to a girl who is being recruited by Furman and Clemson, South Carolina, and Florida. It sounds like she would get a lot better if she was playing against that type of competition in practice. So I mean, I don't know. I think you're worried about something that you don't need to be worried about. Good morning, friend. Good morning, Jeff Leonard Music. She was the only 16 that was offered to 17. That doesn't mean anything, Mika. I know it's exciting. I know it's exciting as a parent, but in the grand scheme of things, in terms of helping her reach her goal of playing in college, is that her goal? Then it does not matter. It doesn't matter that she was offered. What is her goal? Is playing 17s going to get her closer to her goal or not? Is playing 17s going to get her closer to her goal or not? And instead of talking to us about this, instead of asking me, I want you to ask the coach and the director. Ask the coach and the director. If playing 17s is going to get her closer to her goal, then I would consider doing it. I would consider doing it. I would not do it just to say, oh, she was, she's the only 16-year-old who was offered a spot on 17s. Like, I'm not sure that is really that important or impressive for that team, that club. I don't know. I'm just saying I wouldn't put any stock in that. You understand what I'm saying, Mika? Sometimes these coaches will extend offers or tell you about tournaments, their goals for the players and the teams, because they're trying to throw you off. They want you to be looking at, the shiny object and not ask the hard questions. And then you get distracted and you're like, yeah, they wanted her. She's only 16. They want her to play on 17s. And then you get on the team and you're like, okay, now I see why, because the team is jacked up. The coach is crazy. The team is jacked up. These girls don't come to practice half the time. So we can never get into a real rhythm. So I need you to look behind what these coaches and directors are presenting. That's the feedback. Okay, yes. Yeah, so you got some questions to ask, right? Wonderful. Missy says, I love your realness with us. I'm trying to help y'all because, with club volleyball, once you sign the contract, you're stuck. You can't jump around from team to team like like baseball and basketball. You're stuck. Sakina says, why are parents scared to communicate with the coach? Are we not supposed to? I don't think it's so much that they're scared. Well, there's some anxiety. There is some apprehension for a lot of parents to speak to coaches. But I think that's because, number one, Parents don't understand the sport enough. They don't understand the process. They feel like they are challenging authority when you're really just asking questions. You just want a better understanding for yourself and for your athlete. So I think it is absolutely fine to talk to coaches. We have to be mindful of our tone and our intention. Mika is simply trying to get information to determine if this is the best opportunity, if this is the right move for her child. Most parents, Sakina, a lot of parents think that they know more than the coach. They think that their kid is the star and should be promoted as such, should be played as such. And so when they come to talk to the coach, they are attacking the coach. They are accusing the coach. They are challenging the coach. And that's what I'm against that. Let the coach coach, you parent. But as the parent of an athlete on the coach's team, you need some information. You need to ask the information. And I'm going to tell you the right questions to ask so you don't get bamboozled, hoodwinked, led astray, run amok. Yes, that's why we love Sentiment. She keeps it real 24/7, 365. Thank you for that. Thank you. Yeah, I'm going to tell you what it is. See, Mika says, I definitely don't understand the sport enough. I know nothing about volleyball. Right. So when you don't, anybody with any sense, if you know you don't know the sport, why would you run up on the coach and be trying to act like you do know? You wouldn't. You need to know. Parents just need some insight, some guidance on how to handle these situations. I think if more parents were thoughtful about their communication with coaches, about how they approach coaches, coaches wouldn't need these rules that they have in place. They wouldn't have to put a wall in between themselves and the parents. But because so many parents act like bona fide lunatics with no emotional regulation, that's why teams, why coaches, why directors have put all these barriers in place. That's why. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. Absolutely. Absolutely. And the spirit in which you say it. The spirit in which you say it. Hayden, right. Hayden says, let's remember you are paying money. You are paying $3 signs worth of money. Every time I have coaches ask for his daughter, oh, I say, I have questions. That's right. I just say raising champions. You're welcome, Mika. At any time, if you have more questions, if this is a prospect camp she's going to at Furman, if they have been reaching out to her and you need to know what questions to ask, what questions your daughter should be asking at the camp. Right? Right. Sakina says, we are the very quiet parents, very humble, but AJ is getting older. Yeah. So, and also let's be clear, parents can be quiet and very unhumble. Those are some of the worst ones. They don't say anything in the stands. They sit there all prim and proper, but are in the coach's inbox, on his telephone, at her door, at her office door. They're quiet in the stands, but act insane behind closed doors. Jeff Leonard says, I had a situation where I let the coach, but I had to step in when some funky meetings happen. Met with the coach and gave them clear expectations regarding those meetings. Yeah, everybody has a job to do. The coach's job is to coach. The official's job is to officiate. The parent's job is to parent and support your athlete and the team. That's it. That's it. If you are in a situation where you do not trust the coach to coach, you need a different team, period. But before you jump up and snatch your child, I want you to take a good look at yourself. Take a good look at yourself and make sure that it's not you, that you're not the problem. Meg, good morning, Meg. How are you, friend? Former D1, but have learned quickly boys volleyball is different. Yes, it is different. The best is a coach vibe check. Yes, Meg. Wonderful. She sometimey. Ooh, I like that name. She's sometimey. Okay. Thoughts on exposure basketball camps for high school? Let's see. Exposure, she's sometimey. Successful recruiting has a framework, and that framework is exposure, communication, relationships. Exposure, communication, relationships. It doesn't matter the sport. This is for boys and girls. It's for all divisions of college. Exposure, communication, relationships. Exposure is 100% in your hands, sports mom, sports dad. You're in control of that, Miss Sometimey. You are in control of that. Exposure simply is getting your athletes in front of coaches. They could go to camps if it's a camp at a school that they are interested in attending. Is it a camp at a school that is on their list of preferred schools? Is it a camp at a school that they have been in touch with or not? And going to an exposure camp, unseen, uninvited, just signing up and going is not going to get you exposure to anything. You got to work the camp. The camps need to be part of your recruiting plan. If your kid is going to a camp, clinic, showcase, they need to email the coaches ahead of time. Let the coach know that they're coming, why they're coming, what they're excited about, what they hope to learn from the coaches that are there, what they hope to show or demonstrate, and that they look forward to meeting the coach. They need to do that before they ever step foot on campus. And then they need to follow up once they get there and introduce themselves to the camp. Okay? Yeah, no. She sometimes said he's not in high school yet and gets invited. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. What does he need exposure for yet? If you haven't even made a list of high schools, a list of colleges, if you have not started the recruiting process, what is it you think he needs exposure for? To be ranked? By who? Who is ranking him? These people are out here scamming, y'all. They're out here scamming and bamboozling. If you get some information, you have questions, you come here and you ask your questions. Don't let these people take your money and then you're mad because your kid didn't get anything, nothing happened. Ask the questions ahead of time. Yes, it's fine to be excited. It's great to think that somebody wants your kid and is going to help them. But let's be reasonable here. Let's be reasonable. What exposure do you really think they're going to do for your athlete? How is that exposure going to help them achieve their goal? Do you even know what their goal is? Have you had those conversations first? Start there. Start there. We don't have time to waste. We don't have money and energy to waste. Okay? All right. Reed A. Brooke, cute name, like that. Welcome to Raising Champions. Football player wants to play in college. How do you get your kids seen if you're from a small high school? The high school size has nothing to do with it, family. No coaches were coming to the high school to begin with. This is 2026. Coaches they were never coming to your small high school to recruit kids. It doesn't matter what the high school size is. The way you handle exposure, the way you get your kid in front of coaches is email, is social media. Exposure is handled by you, Rita Brooke, by the athlete's parents. You do that. You do that. Not the high school. There's nothing wrong with the small high school. Just like there's nothing great about a large high school. The coaches don't recruit teams. They don't recruit schools. They recruit athletes. They recruit athletes. You are welcome, Rita Brooke. Right on. Great advice. Appreciate this, says Big Moody 72. Good morning, Big Moody. Good to see you. Welcome. You are welcome, Sometimey. All right, guys, let's get out of here today. Let's get out of here. Let's start our days. I got a lot going on today. Good morning, Sahina. Good morning, friend. If you are new here, welcome. Great to have you. The Morning Huddle Daily Coaching for Sports Parents is every weekday morning at 9:15 a.m. Every weekday morning at 9:15. So tap in. If you are ready to get serious about recruiting, I have a recruiting playbook available at the link in my bio. If you need a phone call, you need a 30-minute clarity call to hash out a situation real quick, find out what your next best move is, clarity calls are available as well. And if you need a lot of help and you want me to talk with you and then create your athlete's recruiting plan, that's available as well. Also, email templates, athletic resumes, and a free recruiting checklist also available. And the recruiting playbook is also available in Spanish. Because we're bilingual over here, y'all. Up there in the link. All right. All right. Mika, I have the recruiting book printed in my binder. Boom. There you go. There you go. All right, guys, we're out of here. We're out of here. Hands in. Raising champions on 3. 1, 2, 3. Raising champions. That's how you break a huddle. That's how you break a huddle. You don't just run back on the court. 1, 2, 3. Raising champions. Wonderful. All right. Y'all have a great day. I will get to DMs today, respond to people who have sent me messages. I will get clarity calls. I saw a couple people bought clarity calls yesterday. We'll get those set up today. Any questions you have, send me a DM. Have a great day.